In the wake of the shootings in Dayton and El Paso, the Midland Police Department is preparing for any potential copycats.
Crystal, I spoke with MPD, who say they are as prepared as they can be for any potential mass shooting. Midland Police Department says they're doing everything they can to prevent that kind of tragedy from happening here locally.
As far as prepping for what has happened already, we are already ahead of that curve. We've been completing squad training in new active shooter techniques. And
Midland Police say nearly everyone in their department has done mass shooting trainings, so they know how to jump in if any situation arises.
By training, projecting what might happen, we can always be better prepared.
To yet another deadly shooting in our state. We've been following this story since our newscast at 6 when we learned about the shooting rampage in the Midland-Odessa area.
When the DPS troopers got the car stopped, he was then shot by the occupant of the car. The vehicle continued westbound into the city of Odessa and shot an individual.
Police say the suspect continued driving and fired at several others. Then he abandoned his car and stole a mail truck. While driving the mail truck, police say the man kept on firing at people. The shooting sent panic into the streets as police post to Facebook urging people to get off the roads as they continue to look for the shooter.
Oh my God!
The suspect then heads to the local movie theater where he's met with several law enforcement agencies who, after exchanging gunfire, killed the suspect.
It's muted. Hey guys, Normie's boomer moment. So you can hear me, but you can't hear Normie.
Now they can hear me. All right. So what I tried to say, I was trying to pay attention to too many things. Welcome to Fuck the World Tonight. I'm your host, Old Angry Normie, and we're going to roll into the Zoom meeting, which we're all kind of new to. Got Punky Shrewdster and Blue Waffle Hunter with me. How are you this evening?
What's going on?
Not much.
Pretty excited here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're hoping to get Mr. McAfee in here shortly. I see him in the waiting room. So we're going to go ahead and pull him in. Mr. John McAfee, you are live on Fuck the World Tonight. How are you this evening, sir?
We're doing good. Are we doing video or not?
You can or you don't have to. That is all up to you, sir.
I'll pass on the video. How's that?
Oh yeah, that works. You'll be just like us then.
Yeah. Yeah, none of us like showing our ugly mugs. So you're probably a prettier dude.
Enough.
Probably a prettier dude than most of us, but how are you today, sir? You've had an exciting week.
Well, not really. I mean, I just had an average week. We're sitting here eating mandarin oranges, and drinking vodka and tonic water.
Nice.
And
Nice.
we were smoking some righteous weed earlier today. I piloted a helicopter yesterday.
Yeah, I saw your
I
tweet.
saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, over the Baltic.
It's
You
just
said.
an average fucking week.
Nice.
Well,
Beautiful.
then I envy you.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Punky, by the way. I'm the co-host here.
Yeah. It's Punky Shrewdster. She's had some correspondence with your wife, Janice. Thank you very much, Janice, if you're listening, for helping us set this up.
Jesus.
I am, and you're very welcome.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. And Mr. Motorboat, which he's in the waiting room, he was the person who made first contact with Janice, and he would actually like to talk with you, as well as a friend of the stream here, Joshua Moon. Are you willing to talk with a couple of people? We won't bombard you with a bunch of bullshit. I can guarantee you that. But
they're people I'm talking to. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, yeah, they're people.
No, I don't. Fuck no. It's as long as they're people. I don't
Yeah,
mind.
no robot. No robot.
Yeah, we try to keep the feds out, so we're gonna do our best there. So no one's glowing in the dark here, sir. So we're gonna bring those guys in real quick. Mr. Motorboat, you're alive, and Joshua Moon, you were alive. You're here with Mr. John McAfee, and yeah. So we're here at our cozy little stream. So I got a little refresh at when we started talking with when Motorboat here started talking with your lovely wife. We all kind of brushed up on our McAfee history, and I watched a couple of hit piece documentaries on you that are available there on YouTube. Have you watched any of those?
No, actually, I haven't. Not because I have a distaste of it. It's just I don't have the fucking time.
Yeah, there's probably a lot out there.
Plus, I mean, I've been living in these shoes.
Yeah.
What is a fucking documentary
Right.
going to enlighten me about me?
Right.
So I don't have the time for it. Sorry.
So you, well, I think it's fair to say that a lot of accusations were thrown out there, which is probably not surprising to you. Didn't really want to focus too much on the past. I would say, honestly, no matter which side you believe, you've lived a more than a rock star lifestyle over the last 30 years or so. Would you say that's fair to say?
I mean, I don't know what a rock star lifestyle is. Okay? I really don't. I have lived authentically.
Yeah.
I've been myself, and I've done what I damn well pleased. If that's living like a rock star, then yeah, I guess so. Would never do that, you know.
I think most people would be in awe of what it seems like you've been through, sir.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah, but you are running for president in 2020.
Yes.
And you did run back in 2016. And
I did. I'm on the Libertarian banner. Yes.
There you go.
I am a registered libertarian right here.
There you go. And I was just kind of curious on your stances on some things that have popped up in the last couple of years, or have gotten more notice in the last couple of years. First off, current debate around the Second Amendment. How do you feel about the Second Amendment, sir?
Well, you know, I mean, here's the problem that we're getting into right at this moment, and that is, you know, we're looking at a system that's broken. All right, it doesn't matter who the president is. It doesn't matter who Congress is, because the system is like an automobile with a frozen steering wheel. All right.
Right.
Now, you're asking me about all those drivers of that car. Do you think the car gives a flying fuck? The system doesn't give a flying fuck. So it does not matter what I think about the Second Amendment or what Trump thinks about the Second Amendment. Because you're asking me to say, oh, something's wrong here, we're at war. And you're wanting me to look at the left rear brake cylinder when the fucking car steering wheel is frozen. I just don't give a shit about what people think or say about the Second Amendment. I own guns. I have always owned guns. You can make whatever fucking laws you would like. I'm always going to own guns. So it does not matter to me.
Well, I guess in particular, the red flag laws. Are you familiar with those things that are popping up in local areas? I think someone, I can't remember what state it was. I just read a news article. Someone just had their guns taken away. I think it was in Oregon, which is no surprise. But someone just had their guns taken away because they said you need to fight back against Antifa, and that was considered a red flag, and they took his guns away. And he's I believe he's a military vet. I want to say he was a Marine.
Well, I'd say the red flag is that they took this guy's guns away.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the red fucking flag. Okay, because do we need any more laws? Do you understand what government is? Let me explain that. Government are three pieces. One piece, they call it the legislative branch. Their job is to forever make laws. Then there's the executive branch. They execute the law. Their job is to find the lawbreaker and punish them. The Justice Department, that whole shenanigans. And then the third part is the justice system. The series of judges, our Supreme fucking Court. And their job is to watch over the executive branch to make sure that they are executing the laws in a fair fashion. Well, that whole system is fucked. The judicial branch's job is to make sure that the government just continues to win, no matter what. And the legislative branch's job is to make as many fucking rules as possible to tie American citizens to their chairs. And the executive branch is to spy on your sorry ass and find out before you even break a law that you might be thinking about it and put your ass in jail. This is the reality of the system we're living in now.
Setting examples?
I'm sorry?
So they can set examples for more people.
Oh, fuck yes. You know, I'm a great example that they wish they could make, right? I would be a terrific fucking example. I mean, you know, it's something, I guess, to say I don't know much about my life. God damn, was I a great example? No, I don't want to be an example that way. But however, that's what they're doing.
Well, if I can ask, the main reason why the Second Amendment is such a talking point right now is the mass shootings that are happening pretty much every day now. What would be your fix for that? What do you think is the issue for that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've been trying to keep count of those murdered in mass shooting, those murdered on the highway by drunk drivers or stone drivers or high drivers or drivers on telephones, and other issues relating how we leave this planet. I'm really sorry. Even though it may be horrific in the implementation, but the number of people shot and murdered in this country compared to all the other crap which sucks us off this earth.
Right.
I just can't get excited.
So you think there's a disproportionate amount of focus on mass shootings when it's a relatively small portion of people murdered or people killed due to neglect or other things?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah. I think it's a red herring. That's what they call in business. Okay, the SEC demands that you divulge everything. So if you take your company public, for example, you build a red herring. And what's a red herring do? Its job is to make sure you never buy anything with that company, and everybody knows it. It'll say all the bad things on McAfee. Okay, first of all, the chairman and founder of the company is a fucking madman and takes drugs. Why invest in that fucking company? Talk about McAfee, okay? Secondly, so you list all of the horrific things about the company so that after you do go public and people are buying it and something goes south, the SEC can't say, well, you never disclosed XYZ, right?
Right.
That's called a red herring. And I think what we're seeing now is a red fucking herring, meaning no substance to it, but something they want us to watch.
Right. I mean,
which we're doing.
We never see about the murders that happened every weekend in Chicago, for instance. You know, there's more people that are killed in Chicago just by average crime that happens there.
Yes.
And we don't hear about that, even though there are more people killed than your average quote-unquote mass shooting. So,
but there is a characteristic to these shootings that are different than like the Chicago gang violence or the drug wars on the south border, and it doesn't occur anywhere else. When something happens like in Crimea, where you have the shooting in Perch, that's international news because it doesn't happen often in Slavic countries. So I'm curious why it happens and for what the motivation is.
Listen, the average American, that's 200 million working adults. The average American lives a life of quiet desperation, commuting to work, commuting home, being a slave to the office, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day for 40 fucking years, and you get a gold watch at the end and a pension that won't even pay for your shoelaces, and that's your life. And you spend it working for something and someone. Well, it's not for you, now is it? You're living on a fucking salary. It's worse if you're on an assembly line. Same fucking motion over and over and over, 10,000 times a day for the rest of your fucking life. And is that much of a life? We lead lives of quiet desperation. And to give us some sort of hope that our lives are actually better than they really are, we want to look at lives that are worse than anything we can fucking imagine. And that's what shooting people is all about, right? Oh, thank God we're not being shot, right? We don't have a son or a daughter that's shooting school kids. We don't have school kids that were shot. Well, that's going to catch your fucking attention. And you're going to forget for a moment your life of quiet desperation. My take on that, for what it's worth.
Yeah. I've always said something similar where you see it as a life of quiet desperation. I've always looked at it as people are so comfortable, they're looking for strife. They're looking for something to be angry about. They're looking for a reason to hate someone else because they.
But isn't that desperation?
It is.
When you cannot support or tolerate the reality of your existence without, experiencing something, something you need, getting angry about this or upset about that.
Yeah, but I mean, comparatively,
quiet desperation is not a desperation of tooth and nail. It's a desperation of the soul.
Yeah,
it's a desperation of the mind.
It seems like control through chaos to me.
Maybe.
Yeah.
How do we alleviate that though? How do you make people live a valuable life if we all live in quiet desperation in the U.S.?
Well, I'm not sure it's my job to make people live a different life. My job is simply to walk by and, if I see you sleeping and some bad shit's happening that you should be awake for, just try to wake your ass up and then move on.
Right.
Listen, I don't have a goal. I don't have a master plan. I don't know what the fuck to do about anything. I really don't. I do know that if everybody wakes up and we all see the same thing, that thing will change. This is the nature of reality. We vote these people into office when we see them without that cloak of darkness, which all politicians surround themselves with. When we see them without that in the clear light of day and go, motherfucking hell, did we elect you? Yes, we did. I'm sorry, people. Yeah. We did. Now, go to the polls today and vote the fuckers out of office. Recall them. Do whatever's necessary. Who do you put in? I don't give a shit. Neither should you. Take the local derelict on the street, a random crazy person from an institution, a 12-year-old girl, a dog. I don't give a flying fuck, because whatever and whoever you do put into office is going to be a damn sight better than what we have now, because they will not be able to support the system any longer, and it will come down and then build something reasonable from the rubble. But shit, I'm not going to be even around for the last plans. I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
So would you consider yourself kind of an accelerationist? You kind of want it to burn so you can rebuild it.
No, I wouldn't say that. I don't want anything to burn. Mm-hmm. I just want people to wake up, and then just maybe something's got to burn in order to wake people up. I don't know.
I think people are starting to wake up a bit.
Yeah, I think the more ridiculousness we're seeing, particularly in cultures, the culture that we're in now of accusation and
victimization.
Victim culture, accusation culture. Just this constant pearl clutching that's going on that we see left and right. The mass shootings would be one example of that. I think a lot of that is starting to wake people up. Just not in the way that the media wishes they were getting woke up. They wish that the media wish that people were getting woke up to their narrative, but I don't think that's what's happening in general, and which is why Trump got elected in 2016, which everyone thought he was going to be kind of the wild card that would do a lot of what you said, drain the swamp and this and that. But he's proven to kind of go along with the system a lot more than people hoped. Yeah. So in 2016, I would have said John McAfee is president, and that's crazy. But then Trump got elected, and I see people's disdain with what Trump's doing now. And now I'm saying John McAfee for president. I'm kind of thinking, fuck yeah. I'm kind of thinking, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, do you think that Trump has been a letdown, or do you think that he's never had a chance? John.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was shooting up heroin. I didn't hear what I didn't hear words you said.
You got to be careful with that.
No worries. I was going to ask.
Nice.
Do you think
you should have turned the camera on, John? Come on.
Yeah, we want to watch.
Trump? No, I don't know Trump personally.
No, I was asking.
With him. I've never had dinner with him. I am in no position to judge that man in any way, shape, or form.
Even as president, you don't have an opinion on how he's done as president?
How would I know? I don't know. I don't know who's. No, seriously, let's get real, people, please. I don't know who's pulling his strings for real. I don't know who's got what on him and who doesn't. I don't know who he fears and who fears him. I don't know what legacy strings were attached to that chair, the presidential chair, the moment he sat down in it, and neither do you. Right. You're in no position to judge anybody's life except one, and that's your own. All right, once we start judging other people, then we get lost in darkness. We realize that we can't fucking do that. We can judge the system now because we have to live in it and are touched by it, motivated by it, pushed by it, made uncomfortable or comfortable by the fucking system. So we can judge that shit. So that's what I'm doing.
I don't know if you're familiar with the comedian that died back in the 90s, Bill Hicks. He had kind of a serious set where he talked about every president that gets elected gets taken into a dark, smoky room somewhere in the White House or in the Capitol building somewhere, surrounded by people in suits, very quiet, and they just put a film on the projector. You can tell it was back in the 90s. Put a film on the projector of Kennedy getting shot in the back of the head, and they just play that clip of Kennedy getting shot, and then the film shuts off, and he says, and one of the suits says, "Any questions?"
Okay, but it doesn't even have to be that. Yeah, let's use our heads for a second. You know, the presidents come and go every 4 years, or at the latest, every 8 fucking years. The system surrounding them in Washington, that power circle never changes.
No.
CIA people, the FBI people, they're the same. It's the presidents who come and go. So the presidents are nothing more than fucking puppets. Do you get this? All right. Presidents are coming into a power system that they must conform to in order to survive, be effective, do anything. They are allowed only certain things by the people in power. And it's not a shadow fucking government. Use your goddamn heads. It's the head of the CIA, the head of the FBI, head of the Justice Department, the head of all the executive branches who have been there for 50 fucking years. Who has this power? Well, it's not the president, I promise you. Let's just use our heads for a second and see the reality of what we're living in. So you can't blame presidents, you can't blame congressmen, you can blame certain people in Congress and certain people in the Senate, and certain people within the executive branch who've been there for 50 years, knowing that this president's going to come and go, and we'll have another one. Who there has the power? It's the people who stay. Not the guests that come wandering through for 4 years and leave. This is the truth.
Why run for president if you don't feel that the president can be responsible for much?
I don't want to be president. Good fucking God. Who would want that job? No. I want to run. I'm not running against anybody. I'm just fucking running. Why? I have the right to. I'm a fucking American. I have the right to run for president. That's what I'm doing. So my job is simply to get on the national stage like I did in 2016 and talk about shit that I think needs to be talked about. That's all. That's all I want. That's all I'm doing. Don't vote for me, for fuck's sake. No. Vote for your dog, for your cat, for a derelict on the fucking street, a lunatic. But no, don't vote for me.
Just don't vote for a career politician is what you're saying.
Don't vote for a career politician.
Which is
fucking...
That's why I voted for Trump, actually. I wanted to shake things up.
Good reason.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he's now a career politician. So, sorry.
Now he is.
Yeah, say. Now he is. End of that run. It was fun, but it's over.
Yeah. We do have a very important question that popped in on Stream Elements here. I'm going to refresh it because I accidentally had the other window on top of it. Sponge tipped $5 and said, "Ask John, does he like big anime titties?"
Like big anime tits.
Do I like
big anime tits?
No, I don't like tits at all. I mean, be frank with you. I'm an ass man, all right?
Gotcha.
If a woman has tits and they bring attention to it, I will try to find them with my eyes and go, "Oh, yes, thank you for showing me those." Now, roll over. So, I'm the wrong man to talk about it. I'm the man to talk about tits, period. So, I hope that answers your question properly.
Yeah, I think that's a suitable answer. Asking the important questions here, but they pays it.
Have you ever heard of Terry Davis?
Oh, there you go. Imagine Mr. McAfee, if he doesn't have time to watch his own or documentaries about himself, he probably isn't aware of Mr. Terry Davis. But Terry Davis he was a coder. Went a little. I mean, truth be known, went a little nutty. But he created his own operating system. He developed a compiler by himself, and developed his own operating system. And
I think that's very smart. What's wrong with that?
Oh yeah, he was insanely
he was a
smart.
schizophrenic.
Yeah.
He eventually killed him because it caught up to him. The schizophrenia did, but yeah, he was very smart. Actually, do you know Cal? I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's like Grukel, or because he claims to be a part of your staff, and that's funny because he was I run a website, and he was an administrator on that website. I'm curious if he's working with you now.
Are you talking about Calvin Air?
No, it's Cal Grolka. I don't know how to pronounce that last name, but on Team McAfee it lists him as the lead analysis.
No clue. I'm sorry. I don't really keep up with realities very much anymore.
We did get another tip in here. Moderator Marcy tipped $10, says, ask him what he thinks about Mr. Medicare. I believe probably that answer is going to be very similar to Terry Davis and his documentaries. But have you ever heard of Mr. Medicare, sir?
Actually, no. Okay. No, it's a last name that it actually has 4 syllables if you speak it right. That's way too many syllables for me to remember.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is that the last name there is supposed to be mediocre, but it's an old meme. But anyway,
didn't I say it's 4 syllables, right?
Yeah.
Way too many for a fucking name. I mean,
so that actually leads into a good thing. What do you think about the latest rash of internet censorship? I mean, it's gotten pretty heavy over the last 3 years, specifically ever since Trump was elected.
Okay, I'm a free speech advocate, and here's my take on the problem.
Mm-hmm.
If someone is yelling free speech in ways that are offensive or whatever,
mm-hmm.
don't fucking listen to them. Change the channel. Let them rant to whoever wants to listen, because clearly somebody does, else they wouldn't be ranting.
Right.
So let those who want to rant and those who want to follow do their fucking thing. Because if they're so extreme, they're going to end up nowhere anyway. So they are not a threat, right? They're nothing other than an annoyance if you pay attention to them.
Right. And you kind of give them.
They troll hoping that someone will reply. I just hit the block button and move on.
Right.
How long do you think there will be any semblance of free speech on the internet? Because I've gotten to a point where I've essentially had to set up my own ISP with my own ASN and own IP space to keep stuff online. And I'm just waiting for the day that the tier 1s around me refuse to peer with my service. I'm curious, how long do you think it will be before tier 1s start censoring?
Well, that depends. Depends on we, the people, doesn't it? I mean, what are we going to do? Are we going to sit back and let it happen? Well, yeah, it's going to happen really fucking fast. If all we go is, oh, too bad, there went Dave. Oh, bad. There went McAfee. Oh, too bad, there went everybody. I mean, who gives a shit, right? I mean,
Yeah.
No, come on. The issue is, say something, do something. Write a nasty email, yell out the window, tell a friend. Do something, for fuck's sake. You gotta have some talents. Sing a song about it. Create a meme about it, right? Create a GIF, but do fucking something. Social media is where you brilliantly shine. Well, fuck me, shine in the right way and shine the light on the right things. This is one of them. So if we stop pissing and moaning and start turning outward and saying, hey, we're not taking this shit, not anymore. then people wake up and listen. Are you guys out there willing to do this? This is all I do. I don't do anything else. Pretty fucking obvious, isn't it? You guys can certainly spend some time. I'm not talking about you two or interviewing me. I'm talking about the entire universe out there listening. If there's anybody out there listening, taking it on faith that you're even real, and it's not some CIA trap trying to keep me online while they untangle my IP address. So.
Well, we'd hope not.
Yeah.
Back with your programming days, was Silicon Valley always in its own little bubble, the way they think?
Did Silicon Valley what?
Were they always in their own little bubble, their little think tank about how things should be conducted?
Well, of course, because anybody who was anybody was there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not there, I mean, look at Bill Gates. He's the only one who was not there. And he was hanging out up in Washington. Well, look what happened to him. I mean, he's socially inept. He lives a miserable fucking existence. Hated everybody. And bearing the weight of that magnificent horror called Windows. So, yes. See what happens? People who are not in Silicon Valley. Dude.
We've got a couple of tips came in. Ico tipped 420 says McAfee and Jersh, I love you. I think it was supposed to say I love you. That was from Ico. And Hugh Gainus tipped 20 says, wow, thanks Hugh for the massive super chat. Ask John what he thinks of I'm reading this by the way. Ask him what he thinks about PP poo poo Israel good. So that's his entire
our relationship with Israel, I suppose. The U.S. and Israel.
Yeah, the U.S. and Israel. What foreign policy in the Middle East in general, I think, is possible.
Well, I mean, okay, so if that's the question, first of all, I need to tell you my qualifications for answering. I speak neither Farsi nor Arabic. I know jack shit about the real depth of their religion. I know nothing about their political fucking alliances, no even this about the goddamn history, and certainly nothing about the fucking culture, about what's right, wrong, what they want, what they don't. And you're asking me to talk about the Middle East. As someone who knows. Problem is, you try and find someone who knows. That's actually an American.
Yeah.
Give that a fucking try, please.
So you're saying get the right man for the job to assess the situation.
No, why the fuck are we there?
Yeah.
Why the fuck are we advising and helping and directing a group of people who neither want us nor need us and certainly don't like us? So what the fuck are we doing there?
Well, you never said you don't
have
see
problems here at home. I think we have problems here at home. I have a hard time getting weed sometimes. Some places it's illegal, right?
Yeah.
Tangerines in the fucking store are getting overripe these days in massive percentages. I'm not happy about that shit. I'm out of vodka almost and nothing to mix it with in any case. I got some fucking problems here.
Do you see and just curious, you can skip this question if you don't have much to say about it, but chat is very adamant about asking, do you see a reason for our continued relationship with Israel?
What relationship are you talking?
Well, we give them like $30 billion a year in order for them to buy weapons from us.
But that tells me nothing about that relationship. I mean, I gave my wife a shitload of money before we got married because that was her fucking profession. So does that tell you anything about me or her? No, not without some goddamn history, right? So, same thing.
Well, I mean, we could get
my
into
wife, she's giggling because she goes, A, I'm not exaggerating or lying, and B, I'm talking good naturedly about everybody involved here.
In other words, are we close to making it 110 countries?
Yes, probably.
Probably. There you go.
Say no to Gino. Say no to Gino. Tip 5. It said the majority of people in the world would sacrifice freedom for safety, especially if it's only online. How are we supposed to fight them censoring the net if oh, I got refreshed here. How are we supposed to fight them censoring the net if we are seen as the sacrificial lamb for safety? Basically what he's asking is, you know, they're pointing at people and saying those people are problematic. We need to shut them down, and they're essentially forcing people to go to these little fringe websites like you know, if you get kicked off of Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, you're left with very few choices. Josh here runs one of those choices. The other choices would be 4chan and then 8chan websites like that.
Well, here's the issue. The people who are getting booted off are the thinkers, the truth sayers, usually, the ones who see life a little differently, the ones with balls. Well, listen, aren't they the people that we want to get with? So those people get kicked off. Thank you for identifying a fellow brother in this goddamn war. Yes, do you understand that it is a self-limiting thing? When everybody's been booted off, except the sheep, well, sheep without direction don't buy shit or create shit. And that's why they need slaves, to build everything that the super rich use, or to serve the super rich with what they want. Now, that's going to fall apart if they start booting out the thinkers, the creators, the innovators, the ones with balls. You're creating a very powerful fucking enemy. So bring it on, Twitter.
Well, what they end up doing though is what happened with 8chan was they force everyone that they kick off, or they say you're not allowed to, you know, you're not allowed to have that opinion here, or you're not allowed to talk about certain subjects here. So they do it on these little fringe, these smaller fringe websites. When I say smaller, I mean smaller than Facebook, smaller than Twitter. They end up on these little websites, and then they can point the finger at the website and say that website is nothing but cancer, and we need to shut it down. And so, you know, the providers, the hosts, the you know, the people that are in charge of directing the traffic toward those websites, they all cancel any support for the website. That's exactly what happened. Yeah. That's exactly what happened to 8chan.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, let's look at the big picture. Okay. Who are the most dangerous people in Twitter space, Facebook space, the internet? They're the hackers, man. White hat, black hat, gray hat. These people have the fucking power. And a high percentage of people who have been kicked out are the hackers. Now, I want to tell you something. You piss off 10,000 of the best hackers on the planet. Well, look what happened to Bank of America, to hundreds of institutions, which globally hackers took exception to. Now, they said and did just a few things, but shook the limb hard enough to let them know we own this limb, and the next, and the next. Do not fuck with us. And thank God, the overwhelming majority of hackers are hackers with a heart. They just want to be left alone, to have the freedom to say and do what they want in privacy and anonymity. I can get behind that shit. And so will everybody eventually. So we're not going to lose this war. It's just a fact.
So moderator Marcy tipped 10 and says, hey, can you ask him about the 5 Eyes program, which I'm not. That sounds familiar. I don't know if I'm familiar. It says Josh
Allied country sharing intel.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. And how foreign governments are allowed to spy on the American people and subvert out constitution like the NSA.
Well, wait a minute. Foreign governments allowed to spy on Americans?
Yeah.
No. Our government is allowed to spy on Americans.
Right, but that's been expanded.
I'm perfectly happy. I'm perfectly happy to have Russia spy on me, or Israel, or China. That's fine. I expect that shit. But my own government? No, this is the fucking problem.
Right. Yeah.
One more question, gentlemen.
I'm sorry. What was that, sir?
One more question.
One more question.
One more question. Josh or Motorboat, you have anything?
Yeah. I would say that the biggest issue facing freedom of speech right now is that it's impossible to get financing as an alternative website. It's so easy to get kicked off like PayPal and credit card processors, and like 8chan can't get financed. Nobody can get financed if they run, even if they have a huge audience with many thousands of users, they cannot get money because it's shut down through traditional means. Is the answer to everything Bitcoin?
No, it's not.
No?
First, Bitcoin is an old technology, and if you understood it well, you'd be using a privacy coin like Monero or something else. But if you're asking if crypto is the answer, well, yes, cryptocurrency is the answer. And it's an answer that everybody should be picking up and using for the very reasons that you've just now discussed. This is what I've been saying for years. Well, fucking use it, all right?
And you would probably be happy for it to destroy the Fed, and or at least I would.
The Fed will self-destruct as this progresses.
Yeah. So
I mean, how would you? Do you have a way of onboarding normal people into cryptocurrency? Because normal people look at it, they don't understand it, and they look away from it. What do you promote to get people to take it seriously if they don't right now?
I promote my own shit, obviously. I mean, I'm self-centered and self-serving. McAfee or McAfee Magic. If you haven't tried that website, you fucking need to. It interfaces with every major exchange. It allows you to do practice trading under real market conditions with no risk. Put in $100, use the real market, invest it, sell it, do what you want. If you make money, too bad it's not real. But if you lose money, it's fine. You didn't lose it. Shadow trading. Finding traders that seem to just have that knack and shadowing their every move, shit like this. It allows the new user to avoid the fear of, oh my God, if I invest in this, I'm going to lose my shirt. Well, why don't you try it for a while? Practice until you think you got it. Okay, under real market conditions. Well, shit like that. I mean, I'm doing what I can do. I come on these programs, talk nonsense, and then 5 minutes of sense about cryptocurrency. So,
you said that was
heroin.
You said that was McAfee. McAfee Magic.
McAfeeMagic.com.
Yeah,
awesome.
Look it up right here. I'll drop the link in the chat. Hopefully everyone will go check it out if you're at all curious about cryptocurrency. Mr. McAfee here obviously endorses it.
I do.
Yes.
I do. Thank you very much for having me on. I do appreciate it.
Oh,
we thoroughly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for
Thanks
coming
a
on.
lot, John. That was awesome. Thank you.
You need your avatar to smoke some of that cigarette. It's kind of annoying. It never changes.
It's actually heroin.
Cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's actually heroin. It's just a giant block of heroin.
Yeah.
I do not advise smoking it. So.
Well, thank you for coming on, sir, and hopefully you have a wonderful evening. And wherever you are in the world, be safe, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's out. So there you go. That was Mr. John McAfee. He hung out with us for good 45 minutes there.
Oh.
Do appreciate it.
We do have a Marine Bad video, about a 10-minute video that I dropped in Zoom chat for you, Normie. I wanted to bring that up.
Oh, cool. Yeah. We'll probably go ahead and play that. The McAfee segment is apparently over, but we'll probably play that video for a little intermission. If anyone wants to stick with us, listen to us bullshit on our normal type stuff for the Sunday show, you're more than welcome. Josh, you're welcome to stick with us too if you want to just bullshit, but I know it's late where you are. If you want to duck out, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I'm going to head off because it's almost 2 a.m. here.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Oh,
That's
thank
cool,
you.
Josh. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good night.
Take it easy.
We've got
One thing I was disappointed in.
Huh.
I really didn't get to ask him about